My brother only visited our dying father when he needed money. He showed up at the funeral just long enough to ask if there was life insurance. But what he didn't know was that our mother had one final trick up her sleeve, and it broke him. If you've ever had a toxic family member who only shows up when there's something in it for them, this story is going to hit hard. Hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up because this revenge came from beyond the grave. Growing up, I learned early that in our family, being born a girl meant being invisible. Our household was painfully traditional. My brother, let's call him EB, for entitled brother, was a golden child. The sun rose and set on his every breath. Meanwhile, I was treated like a walking disappointment. EB never heard the word no, and if he did, he didn't listen. When it came time for college, my parents rolled out the red carpet. Tuition, books, rent, meals, everything paid for. They didn't want him distracted by a job. Me, I figured out early that if I wanted anything, I'd have to earn it myself. But EB, he used our parents like a personal ATM. Calls and visits were transactional. He only showed up when his bank account got low. Eventually, they started catching on. But not before EB added another layer of drama to the mix. His girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, already 5 months pregnant with another man's child. When our dad threatened to cut him off unless he finished school, EB pulled the ultimate guilt card. I'm going to quit and raise his child instead. Dad wasn't having it. He said, if you drop out, you pay back every dime. So EB rage quit the house and settled for a retail job instead. Somehow, he still finished his degree. But he also walked away from a promising career to be a provider for a child that wasn't even his. Then came the day our dad was diagnosed with stomach cancer. Terminal. 3 months, they said. And EB, he didn't change. He showed up a few times, asked for money, and left. No, how's Dad doing? No effort. No heart. Nothing. At the funeral, I watched him like a hawk. He offered a hollow hug to our grieving mother, then whispered, did Dad have life insurance? That was it. That was his only question. He left the service early, like a man on a tight schedule, probably headed to spend whatever money he thought he was about to inherit. 2 weeks after the funeral, I came home and found Mom sitting in the living room with George, Dad's old friend and, oddly enough, a life insurance broker. She looked oddly calm. $500,000, she said, like she was ordering coffee. That's what I'm applying for. I blinked. Mom, I don't want to sound harsh, but you've got diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. I don't think you'll qualify. She just smiled and said, don't worry. Just make sure your brother knows when the time is right. I didn't know what to make of it. It sounded cryptic, but I trusted her. EB continued to circle like a vulture. Visits only when he wanted money. Guilt trips like clockwork. You don't care about your only grandchild. You're making us suffer. You're depriving him of a decent life. His wife, SL, would chime in too, playing tag team emotional blackmail. Mom never gave in, but it took a toll. For weeks later, I lost her too. A stroke and heart attack took her in her sleep. Just 6 weeks after we lost Dad, I was drowning in grief. And as I sat in the hospital, trying to keep it together, the nurse handed me Mom's belongings, her purse, her jewelry, her coat. EB offered to drive me home. It should have been a quiet ride, a moment of shared sorrow between siblings. But instead, he looked at me and asked, hey, did Mom have any money in her purse? Kid needs food. I didn't even speak. I opened the purse, grabbed a $20 bill, and chucked it at him like it was poison. Then came the real question. Did Mom have a life insurance policy? There it was. That's what she meant when the time is right. I looked at him. Calm. Yeah, she applied right after Dad passed. Said she wanted to make sure we were taken care of. His eyes lit up. Really? How much? $500,000. The rest of the ride? Dead silent. Except, I swear I heard a tiny cha-ching under his breath. A month later, I received a letter addressed to Mom from the insurance company. The first line hit me like a brick. We regret to inform you that you do not qualify. That's when it clicked. This wasn't real. I called our trustee, Mom's cousin, and he confirmed it. George, the broker, had been in on it. It was all set up, a brilliant final lesson from beyond the grave. Mom had told EB about the policy, knowing he'd get greedy. And he did. He racked up $40,000 in debt after that conversation. Vacations, gadgets, probably already planning K1's college. All of it based on a policy that never existed. Now it was time to break the news. I called him. Hey, EB, got the letter about Mom's policy. Yeah? When do we get the check? There isn't one. She didn't qualify. Silence. What? What about my kid? How am I supposed to pay rent? We already spent the money. How could she do this to me? His voice was cracking. He sounded panicked. Desperate. Then SIL grabbed the phone. You're lying. You did this. You just want it for yourself. Kay, one needs that money. You're stealing from your own nephew. She shrieked threats. Called me Baron. Said they'd sue me, and I just sat there, smiling. They called the trustee. Screamed at him too. He told them what I already knew. It had been a ruse. A carefully crafted revenge plan by a mother who'd had enough. She knew exactly what kind of man she had raised, and she crafted a final punishment that would hit him where it hurt. His greed. He lost it all. He gambled on a ghost policy and bet the farm, and when it all came crashing down, he was left humiliated, broke, and scrambling. And the best part? He couldn't blame anyone but himself. He tried to turn our parents into cash machines. And in the end, Mom turned the tables and used his greed as a trap. From the grave, she taught him a lesson no one else could. Sometimes, karma doesn't show up in the way you expect. Sometimes, it's dressed as a $500,000 life insurance policy that never existed. And sometimes, the sweetest revenge is the one that leaves them broke, bitter, and blaming no one but themselves. If this story made your jaw drop, hit that like button and let us know in the comments what's the most brutal revenge you've ever witnessed in a family. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma finally cashes in.